Hello, my name is Karina and this is my perfume map. Today I want to talk about spicy fragrances that I am wearing this summer, or it's not summer, I'm going to wear this spring and in warm weather. Some of these fragrances I just pulled back out of kind of my put away box that I put in my closet. And the reason why I'm doing that is I just, since we last spoke, my family, my kids, my husband and I, we went camping. And we were doing what is called primitive camping. I think when I was a kid, it was just called camping. But basically, we went to a campground that didn't have, electric hookups. And there was water, but it was like from a spigot. And there was one maybe every 8 campgrounds had a spigot, and pit toilets. So while we were there, I couldn't charge my phone and I had to walk every time we needed water for something. And we, had a lot of fires and we did s'mores and stuff. And I really like doing things that get me out of my comfort zone, so to speak. I like to do things that kind of give me like a fresh perspective. And a couple days of primitive camping really will do that for me. You get used to all kinds of conveniences and what seems normal for like a certain time of year. But if you take yourself out of a routine, you really can see that there's endless possibilities. There's so many ways to do things, and there's a lot of ways to think about things, including fragrance. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. And yesterday I wore a fragrance that has a really heavy note of cardamom. So I'm going to talk about a few cardamom fragrances. And a few of these I think are definitely geared towards fall or winter, but I don't think we need to do that. So this one is Elizabeth Arden Spiced Green Tea. This is a discontinued flanker of the green tea line. But I just checked eBay and there's a ton of it, and under $30, you can definitely get a bottle of this. This was a creation by Francis Kurkdjian, which is why I was kind of interested in it. I wanted to buy a bunch of his lower priced fragrances based on my love for BR 540. And this is one that I got. And I just want to say right off the bat, I don't do reviews, okay? I don't even know how you review perfume. I'm just talking about perfumes I'm wearing and what I think about them. I can't really try to convince anybody to buy the perfumes I like. If I'm trying to influence anybody, and this is going to sound very heady, I would be trying to influence the manufacturers of fragrance more than me trying to get you to buy something. If you like perfume and I like perfume, then we can talk about perfume. I'm not trying to get you to part with your money. It's not I don't care. Spend your money on however you want. Yeah, that's none of my business. Anyway, so this fragrance has a really heavy note of cardamom. It definitely has a tea note, more of a green tea. It's got some citrus in it. And I really enjoy wearing this in hot weather. I wore this to a baseball game yesterday. And I just thought, this is awesome. It is not for people who want to smell really mainstream. This has a curry. There's a curry thing going on with this one that I really like. It smells like a really awesome restaurant that serves curry in the summer along with citrus things and tea. It's beautiful. It's not sweet. It's more tart curry. I actually spritzed on some this morning. This is so interesting. But like I said, it's not for everybody. If you're not a wild perfume wearer, if you're just after compliments and wow, you smell so good, I'm not sure that this is one of those. I mean, to me, I think it's great. If I was sitting next to you and you were wearing this, I would think you were cool because it just smells so spicy. Now, one thing I started looking at after my camping trip, and I was thinking about spicy perfumes, and I'll tell you why that camping trip made me think of spicy perfumes in a minute, is where does cardamom grow? And it seems like it grows in Sumatra and Guatemala. It seems like most of it's coming from Guatemala, but it grows in like hot, humid weather, like hot weather. And if you think about stuff like Turkish coffee, or it might not always be called Turkish coffee, it might just be called like a Middle Eastern way of making coffee where they make it in a little pot and it's got tons of cardamom and the black coffee is like in there and sugar. Like these are like very hot weather locales that would make such a drink, right? And it's kind of worth thinking about why in the US we associate these spices with cold weather times, and just how the rest of the world might perceive that as sort of strange, but like we think of it as normal. You know, like this is together. I'm gonna try to stay on track, but just follow along if you can. So this is Together Weather by Bath & Body Works. This came out in the fall, and this has Blushing Breeze, Sugar Cardamom, and Soft Cedar, right? You can see why they put it in their fall collection, but it also doesn't need to be fall at all. This has like a pink note that's like, whenever there's like a pink or a blush in Bath & Body Works, it kind of smells like this. So, and then there's a cedar note, which I just had a couple of fences built, and for one of them we use cedar. So it could definitely be like a backyard fragrance. And then Sugared Cardamom. And this is a little bit of like a green cardamom. This isn't like a powdered cardamom, like a thick powdered cardamom that you might have in like a spiced cookie or something. But even still, like I can't really tell you that like cardamom is that common in at least American cuisine. Like I can't really think of like a time when I'm like, oh, I gotta bust out the cardamom, right? Like not at all. But anyway, I definitely think that this Together Weather, which came out in the fall, and I don't know if they still have it, this could definitely be a summer fragrance, and it actually layers really nicely with this spiced green tea, because this has like the citrus, and this is very kind of smooth smelling. But this is really good. I kind of ignored this. Again, with Bath & Body Works, this happens to me a lot because I tend to buy them in like 10s or 12s when they're doing a sale, and like I just can't really get to all of them. But I'm gonna wear this summer because it's really pretty and it doesn't smell fall-like. It just has a very nice cedar note that's well done. It doesn't smell like, doesn't have like that bike tire smell. And yeah, Sugared Cardamom. I mean, this could just be like a iced spiced coffee fragrance. It's really nice. The next cardamom fragrance I want to show you is from Solstice Scents. It's just a sample. Solstice Scents is about to reopen. They always close in the winter, and the perfumer is Angela St. John. She just got onto social media and said she's going to open again sometime in May, and she'll have some new perfumes and they'll have their spring collection. So this is one they've had for a long time, so you could probably get it when they reopen. This is Cardamom Rose Sugar, and this has a lot in common with this Elizabeth Arden in that they both have like a strong curry thing going on. Like 100%. In fact, the first time I smelled this, I was like, whoa. A lot of Solstice scents, if you've never tried that brand, are kind of like, wow, like they're pretty literal. But this has grown on me quite a bit. I've probably had this little sample for 3 years and it still smells great, and I still have some in there because it's an oil and because it's so strong. But I really like this. If I like cardamom this way, like sometimes it's in a fragrance and it kind of smells like it's cardamom, but it's like a cardamom cookie. Kind of like in this one, I guess, where you're not really getting, I mean, this doesn't smell like curry at all, this Together Weather. But I kind of prefer this spicier take. And actually these three together all smell good together. And I know that because I sprayed them all on yesterday, I guess it was. And yeah, they're really good. So what do you think? What do you think about spicy fragrances? Is that just like too fall-like for you? All of these spices that I'm about to talk about only grow in hot weather. So it's kind of weird that we think about them for fall. And maybe it's because like traditionally we were trying to do the opposite in fall, like have something hot and spicy. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, oh, you know, I got one more cardamom. This is Intoxicated. This is a dupe. This is our impression of Intoxicated. And this again is more of a cardamom cookie smell. But with coffee, this one's kind of confusing to me. Like I feel like they should have gone one way or the other. Like make it a coffee scent or make it a cookie scent. But this is kind of both. And yeah, it's not my favorite. It's a little bit too, I don't know. I wish it had more coffee. I wish it was like a cardamom coffee scent. So now I have these clove scents, and I'll go over these quickly because some of these I just talked about. So this is Oscar by Oscar de la Renta, and this has clove in the top, middle, and base, and it is my favorite way to do clove. There's no bitterness. It's just spice. It's warm. The sweetness develops like long after you spray it. It's like a gorgeous incense. It definitely has something that could be considered tropical, but a spicy tropical, not like a banana tropical, not like a coconut tropical, spicy, like Spice Market, Spice Trade. I mean, this is a cool perfume, and I think it's unisex too. If you're the kind of guy that likes like Opium or Youth Dew, Tabu, if you like those, I would try this. It doesn't mean it's a review, it's just my opinion. The next one I have is Baby Bat. This has clove. So this is the kind of clove that I'm not that wild about, even though I think this fragrance is kind of interesting. This smells like clove essential oil with like a marshmallow perfume. It's like marshmallow. It's like clove scented marshmallows, but it smells like clove essential oil. Like if you went into a health food store and you're like, I need some clove essential oil for my bleeding gums or whatever people use it for. That's what this smells like. So this was from Etsy. This is Andromeda's Curse. And I think that she makes some interesting fragrances. If you don't like clove because it smells bitter, then you're not gonna like this one. The next one is Tabu, and Tabu's been around for a long time. It's my understanding that this current formulation was created by Sophia Grossman, who did not create, oh, it's really good. And this, I think, this would be too much if you sprayed too much of it on a super hot summer day. But on like a summer night, if you're not an oversprayer, like I have seen people do videos where they show themselves putting their perfume on and they'll do like 10 sprays per arm. Dude, I never do that. Never. And yeah, I would, if you did that with this, then they would smell you coming. But a couple sprays on your chest at night and it's hot and humid, I think it's beautiful. This is very musky, very spicy. You get cloves. Yeah, it's beautiful. Then there's Hidden Fantasy, which I've talked about recently because this was created by Rodrigo Flores Rue. And I just listened to a podcast with him on it. Emma at the Perfume Room was interviewing him. This has a lot of orange and clove, which again, I think in the US at least, we like associate that with Christmas, like kind of a potpourri cidery thing. But cloves are definitely grown in a tropical environment. Like we can't grow cloves here, so I don't know why. Maybe they were a gift. Maybe, I mean, I would love to, if you know like a historical novel, historical fiction that deals with the spice trade, please leave it in the comments. I would love to read something like that. I'd like to just know more about the spice trade, I think. I mean, we all know that there was one. We all know like there's history there, but like I'm pretty like dumb about it. So what I'll say about this fragrance is I'm not super keen on it because it has that kind of woody note that I don't like, which is like I don't know if it's that woody note mixed with vanilla in the base, but there's something in a lot of modernish fragrances that smells like I'm smelling the inside of a bike tire, and it's like really sweet, so it smells kind of good, but it's also kind of gross. This has that in it. I enjoy the orange part of it. I enjoy the spiciness. I think I'm not wild about the particular like woody notes that are used in Hidden Fantasy. And I think that it has a lot of notes in common with Youth Dew. This is, I'm not sure when this bottle is from. It's not super vintage, but it's also not new. But Youth Dew and Hidden Fantasy kind of smell similar, and I would say that Hidden Fantasy smells like a much younger take on Youth Dew, or even Opium, honestly, because people will argue about this, but I think that Youth Dew and Opium, especially the older versions, they are so darn close. Youth Dew has more citrus. Oh, I also was looking at, this is something I've learned recently. So Youth Dew has narcissus, right? And I just realized, I just learned that that's daffodil. Why are we calling it narcissus all the time? Like, it's daffodil. I mean, there's daffodils there. I don't have any right now, but like 2 weeks ago, my yard was like full of daffodils everywhere. And I didn't know that that's what that was. I didn't know when people are saying narcissus, they're talking about daffodils. Just say daffodil. And by the way, that's very spring-like, right? So with Youth Dew being so spicy and then also having narcissus, also known as daffodil, that to me means it's like an all-weather type of fragrance. And this is really, really good. I've worn this recently. You have to have a light hand. And a little dabber like this is perfect, because a couple dabs behind the ear and one on the chest, and then you're out in the summer heat and you're good to go. I actually was pulling weeds this morning, and I had a little bit of Youth Dew that I just put on my thumb, and then I wore gloves and I could still smell it. So I don't know. This is a really nice spicy fragrance. Again, a lot of clove. That's definitely tropical. So why only wear it in the winter? I think it's great for the spring and summer. Okay, so this one here has a note of coriander. I've talked about this before, and every time I pull this out, I'm like, I should be wearing this so much more. This is Coriander by Jean Couturier. I hope I'm saying that right. And this has very green, spicy notes, but it also has orange flower, and it has musk, and it smells very sweet, almost like a honey note. There's almost something sugary or almost even marshmallowy in the dry down. This is so classy and just spicy enough. Like the spicy coriander note really plays well with all of the green notes. This is like a classic Chypre. So this has oak moss and patchouli in it as well. And the oak moss is so bright and beautiful in here. I love it. I love wearing it. It smells like spring. And as far as these spices go, coriander is the only one that like I can grow here in the Midwest. In fact, if you have a garden and you're a lazy gardener like me, cilantro is really great to grow because it will, it'll go to seed pretty quickly and it just replants itself over and over and over. Like you can plant coriander, cilantro like once and you'll have it like forever until you get rid of it. And the last two fragrances I want to talk about have everything to do with my recent camping trip, because Woody Chestnut by Dossier is something that's new to my collection. And it's really a kind of a marshmallowy fireplace fragrance. And there's also a ton of black pepper, which is tropical. There's cloves. There's cedar. And it really, really, really does smell like a campfire. We roasted marshmallows. I'm like a marshmallow only person. I do not like s'mores. but the smell of a well roasted marshmallow, even a little bit burnt, is so good, and it's so summery. So while I think most people would put this in the fall category, I think you can put it in the camping category, because this is what camping smelled like. And I'm gonna wear this summer. And the last one I want to show you is another Solstice scent, and I love this fragrance so much. I think it's the best one she's ever done. This is Upstairs Window. And again, like a camping scent. It's smoky. It has cloves. It has a little bit of cinnamon, but it has real beeswax in it, which seems very summery, right? If you like something like By the Fireplace, if you like kind of these smoky, woody scents, you have to try this. You have to figure out a way to get a sample of it. It's so beautiful. And again, the cloves are not, doesn't smell like essential oil. Like I said, it's a true beeswax note, so this is not like a vegan fragrance. But what a beautiful, smoky, sweet, spicy fragrance. There's no florals in here, but the beeswax can smell kind of floral to me. And every time I wear this out, I just wear a little bit because it's kind of a doozy, but I feel very proud of myself. Like, I just feel like, oh my gosh, like this is it. As far as all of the kind of smoky, vanilla-y, spicy fragrances that are modern and new, this one is my favorite by far. And I hope you get the chance to try it. And one other one, I've talked about this so many times that I kind of wasn't going to put it up here, but it's so inexpensive, you guys. Like, I think I just looked and it's $8 free shipping for this bottle on eBay. And this is so similar to Youth Dew or Opium, but it has kind of a buying soap at the farmer's market vibe. Like, it smells like a bar of opium soap sliced up at the farmer's market. You buy it by weight, and it just has like clove, spices, amber. It's so good, and it's so cheap. And if you want to try out a spicy fragrance for the summer, but you just don't know if you want to invest in it because it's not usually your thing, I would go with Cafe by Coffin Lux. I think it's Coffin Lux. Sometimes this is Cafe by Cafe. Sometimes this is Cafe by Coffin Lux. Either way, it's $8, and I think you'll like it. So anyway, hopefully that was sort of coherent. I just want to kind of present the idea of thinking outside the box for summer fragrances, asking ourselves why we think these tropical spices are winter fragrances, and what do other people, like, what do people around the world say? Like, when do they wear these fragrances? What do they think? Do they even put them in fragrances, or do they just eat them? I don't know. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon, and bye-bye.